Hello Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 19th to the 25th of June. So let's have a little look together and see what is going on for you guys this week. Okay, let's see for Taurus, please. One more. I'm getting the feeling of like becoming enlightened to some degree. That what they're showing me, and I will show you in a second, but I like to look at it first, is you're going through an energy where you're feeling really, really down. There is such sadness, maybe grief, there is pain, heartache. It usually, I'll show you. The first card that you had out was the Orphan card, and this usually does come after a bit of like a tower movement. This is something that causes a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of abandonment, so some of you guys definitely feel like that within this week. After this abandonment comes through and there is some need for some changes, I think this is what you're recognizing through some pain, that something needs to change. And that is usually where it does. When you kind of hit rock bottom, the only way is up, and this is what the vibes are bringing in. And this is where I'm saying enlightenment, because you kind of have to go down deep to the core, go through pain, go through anger to really bounce back up again and appreciate all the amazing things, the other amazing things that life can bring. So after the orphaned energy, you do have deep knowing, which is definitely a card of moving into intuition, moving into something. This card in particular is moving into your knowing, but it's more about taking action on something that you knew you've always needed to do, or something that you have been wanting to do for a while, something that you're being called to do. And it may have been something you've been sitting on for a while, because as you can see in this card, there's a moon in the back. And I always feel like this is an energy where you've known this, the moon has been there, but now you're on Mars. Now this is an energy of where you're taking action on something that you know you needed to take action on. Whether it is tapping into your intuition and you're actually doing things that connect you a lot more, tapping into any kind of spiritual beliefs or anything like that. Maybe you're doing some research, maybe from this pain, whether it's heartache, breakup, whatever it may be, something that caused a lot of destruction for you. It's now causing you to gain some sort of power. But don't get me wrong, there is a sense of weakness at first, where you're feeling low energy. You don't have the energy to do anything because you're grieving, you're sad, something is lost. So what the Tower card means, even if it's an old relationship, whatever it may be. So now you're going to be gaining this strength to push forward from this pain. And after deep knowing, we have this beautiful higher power card. And higher power is tapping into your intuition as well. As you can see, there is this keyhole right in the middle of that brows here, which is about your third eye is opening. So for a lot of you, whatever you've been through, whatever you're going through, it is unlocking some sort of intuitive gift. Okay, so some of you, this could actually be being able to be psychic in some degree, but it could just be like something's opening up your vision. And the card that you just have coming through here is abundance. So some of you, this is going to, whatever you have, I'm going to tap into it and see what you may feel like you have lost, okay? Or this orphan energy can just be a backlog of things that life has thrown at you. But this abundance here is what you're channeling in. You're channeling in a vision. So some of you might actually see this in your dreams, by the way, like a way of making money, starting your own business or something. You guys could be getting like an intuitive idea to take action upon. Maybe you've had that for a while, okay? And now is the time where you're doing it. So abundance says, I'm a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. And it feels like this is what you're waking up to. This is what you're, waking up to, is some sort of abundance or abundant mindset to get to that abundance. You see what I mean? Alrighty, I'm going to try a different kind of layout. Let's see. Current energy is the moon. That's exactly like that orphan energy. You're in your emotions at this time. There are some deep feelings going on for you guys this week, Taurus. And this can take you down under at times, This is sitting, contemplating, really reflecting, but in an emotional way. What's interesting here what's coming up as your blockage and challenge is actually the Ace of Swords. Now, for those of you who know, and well, for those of you who don't, the Ace of Swords is about truth and honesty. It's about clear communication. It's about clarity. So some of you may be lacking some sort of communication from someone that you want it from. Some of you are lacking clarity in your situation. Now, what's interesting is some of you might have been, may not be telling the truth to yourself, or someone may not be telling you the truth, and this is why you're going through some sort of emotion. It's a lack of clarity, a lack of information that could be causing you to be in this kind of emotional pit. I'm going to call it a pit, like a pool, maybe actually, like maybe. We have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, guys. All right, for some of you, there could be somebody here who you may be having an instinct about. Like if you've been feeling in a really tough place for a while, feeling like something is wrong and people are trying to tell you like you're just a bit crazy, Taurus, I feel like there is something hidden that is being blocked. Again, this could even be your own stuff. Sometimes we unconsciously self-sabotage by constantly sitting in our emotions, and although it can be good to do that sometimes, other times it can be really counterproductive, and which is what the moon means sometimes. Is sitting in this energy to understand yourself and to understand things and be reflective is absolutely fine. It's okay, and in fact it's encouraged. But when we sit in this for so long and it becomes a feeling of my life is always going to be this way, I'm never getting out of this situation, or life is terrible and always will be because of certain situations, I can understand why we would feel that way, but it's not a very realistic approach. Of course, anything can happen that can change our life for the better, just like it has for the worst at times. So it can easily reverse the other way, but telling ourselves this is just giving us this big cloud, like the moon says, and it can distort your reality. So for some of you, if that resonates with you, then your challenge here is actually really getting the truth from yourself. It's really being honest with yourself about what you can do to get out of this. And for some of you, of course, speak to a professional if you absolutely need to. And for some of you, you might if that's what you're feeling. But for others of you, this could just be your intuition trying to tell you something. Or feeling, actually, some of you could be going through so much like sadness that it's really hard for you to connect with your intuition, and maybe that's what the Ace of Swords is about. Either way, something is being blocked here that needs to be cleared up. So I'm going to pick up some advice, but for some of you, you might already know what the truth is, and this is what that deep knowing is about, is there is something that we can do to pull us out of this moon card energy. But some of you is actually like admitting to yourself how you feel about someone being secretive. If it's others of you, then maybe it's just about being honest with yourself or giving yourself that kind of clarity. Can I clarify what this Ace of Swords is about, please? The Artist. Now, in the kind of way of which some of you might be in this kind of darkness, I want to call it, because the moon is in the darkness. Some of you, what is a bit of a blockage for you and what is very unclear to you is something that we might need to actually realize. Maybe when we can be so lost sometimes, and I completely get it. Sometimes it just needs that little bit of a reminder for ourselves when we're in this stage to go, actually, I am the creator of my own reality. Like if I'm not happy in a situation, or if someone's making me unhappy, then I can actually control what that person's opinions mean to me, or I can try to look at this in a different way. The Artist is all about creating. It's about creating I like to use this card as more of like a future thing. So some of you might be very, the lackluster was the words that came to mind. I don't really know what that means, but I hope it makes sense. It just came to mind. But it's more of a case of, you might just be feeling really demotivated when it comes down to your future and where it's going, and you could be lacking that clarity. But the Artist is coming through just to remind you that we can create whatever destiny you want for yourself. It just takes that vision. All right, some of you, this is what's being blocked to you, is that you can't see something, you can't hear something, you're not seeing the truth, you're not seeing the clarity, and that is making it very difficult for you. One thing I am going to say though is the more that we're in this moon energy, again, sometimes it can be very, very good to be in this, but the moon can also, again, bring that distortion. So the more that we're sitting in this this emotion, the more you're going to feel lost, the more you're going to feel sadness. So it's really about trying to get you to pull you out of this situation by doing something, even if it's difficult. Maybe to bring yourself some clarity. It could be writing some things down, or it could be something as simple as doing something that you know you like to do, whether it's a certain location you like to go to, whether it's a certain activity that you enjoy, just to kind of get out of this moon energy, just to give yourself that little bit more of a sense of belonging. All right, what's the advice for Taurus, please? Eight of Wands and the Nine of Wands is quite interesting. They are saying at this time it's a really good time to heal, to take a break, to take a rest. Some of you might be engaging in like work activities or having to do a lot at this time, and this is really saying to give yourself time to heal. The Four of Swords is kind of similar to the moon. It's about kind of sitting with the pain to a point of kind of healing it, not allowing it to kind of control you, because sometimes our emotions can do that. If it's that pull, then it can drag you under, it can be very difficult to function when you're in those stages. But the Four of Swords is not a water card, it's swords. It's air energy, which is all about kind of very logical thinking to pull you through certain emotions, or however healing needs, to be for you. We have the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Wands, which is a very good energy to come through for you. So your advice is to really prepare yourself for life to speed up. This could also be some communication coming your way. All right. This is something that might pull you into action, by the way, which is quite interesting. The Nine of Wands is a prepared defensive card. Okay, so either someone is coming in saying something that's going to make you feel quite defensive here, by the way, Taurus, so just pay attention to that. Or again, you could still be in this wounded energy, but the thing is, when the Eight of Wands comes through, the Nine of Wands is ready to take action. It's a wounded warrior vibe. So you guys, even though you're hurt, I do see some change coming through for you. The Eight of Wands is also about life speeding up, as I said earlier. So I do see things happening. And the Nine of Wands is you kind of getting prepared to deal with it. And we have some victory coming in, by the way. You guys are going to be hearing a lot from people who really absolutely love and care for you. All right, it's going to be certain feminine energies around you. You have the Temperance card with this beautiful angel here. So you have spirit guides here for you who are sending you their love. Okay. Nine of Wands. Yeah, defensive energy. For some of you, there is this resistance to the change that's coming. The Eight of Wands is always moving in the right direction, but for some of you, again, this might be with that, need for some inner clarity or to visualize your goals a bit more, because I feel like you might be trying to prevent something from happening that is already coming to you and it's in a good direction. But it's because you're in this moon energy that is really hard for you to, I get it. So some of you might need to take a break because you're handling too much. Actually, on the bottom of the deck, I didn't even see that. You do have time for a nap. But as you're trying to slow down something that cannot be slowed down. And this is good things. Again, it's good things, but how you're feeling is not like it's good. It's like another thing added to you, So this means that we have to kind of address some emotions, not sit in it, not dwell in it to a degree of where all you can see are the problems. We have some good energy coming through for you. So it's just about trying to find some sort of balance with it, because whatever is hurting you, you can't completely just switch off. It's not possible. But the less that you give, not the less you give importance to it, but the more that you learn to manage it and not allow it to like overrule you, the easier it can be to focus on your responsibilities and the good things that are happening also, Sorry. It's clearing the energy clearly. All right, one more card for Taurus. Because what you are desiring is this abundance. But again, you're in this moon energy and it seems to be what's preventing you from taking action on something. So you're trying to delay something and pushing it back. But I think it's what you've been praying for. The Star card, absolutely. Now, the Star is always about healing. It's really about being vulnerable. And as you can see, what I love about this is she's kind of like dipping her toes into the water, and the water is those emotions. She's being vulnerable. She's allowing herself to step into the emotions in the water consciously. Okay, we're not just drowning in it and like the waves of the water are, and the emotions are kind of flowing you. You're in control of when you go into these moments to heal. It's also a really lovely card of giving back to people and people giving back to you. So there's a lot of that energy coming through. But the star card is wish fulfillment. So you guys, if it's stardom that you want and desire, if it's just your success, whatever that looks like to you, then I do see that coming in for you. But it seems like it's slow and steady. It's just dipping your toes in the water, see how that gets you, especially for those who might deal with anxiety or whatever this moon is. It seems to be preventing you from moving forward, but it's just saying dipping your toes into your own emotions can help you heal. But whatever it is that you're also wanting but delaying, but know that you want, know that it's good, but for some you just don't feel ready for it just yet, dip your toes in. You will want to go with the flow when you understand where it's taking you, and it's towards this abundance. But at times I think you're just in the beginning stages of allowing it to, let you fly away with the wind. All right, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Let's see, for Taurus, please. And one more. So your first one, Taurus, is Torch. So this says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. You do have the rabbit. This says too much concern with sexual matters. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I didn't even realize by moving it, it affected it, so I apologize. So as I was saying, you have the rabbit here, which says too much concern in sexual matters. Okay, someone needs to hear that. But this is very interesting because these came out together, and it is owl and arrow. So these both say you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So even if you feel like you're behind or that you're not doing good enough, which might be the case, the owl here is saying that you'll be receiving good advice from a wise person. Because these are coming out together, you guys are going to get a clear signal, whether that is an owl, is your sign that you're on the right path, or whether you're going to hear some advice that's going to really help you understand that you're in the right place right now. Even if it doesn't feel like it, whatever you're going through, it is, again, deepening your spiritual development. It is giving you enlightenment. That's why I said in the beginning, but it's helping you to understand something about moving forward in your future and what it may bring. All right, but just remember, you are in control. The artist is just here to say that's your challenge to overcome, is to acknowledge that you can bring clarity and clear vision into your world. And sometimes it's about removing whatever it is that's blocking it, which seems to be the moon. Whether it's someone else's secrets who's holding you back, gaslighting, sometimes it can be the case. For others of you, it's just your own self, which is okay. We'd all like that, don't worry. It's nothing bad to you. We all do this to ourselves at times, especially when you're going through something really tough. So completely get it, but don't worry, you're on the right path. All right. Well, Taurus, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I apologize for touching the mic and messing things up, but hope you guys forgive me, and I hope to see you guys next time, okay?